It's November 30th. It is about 6 in the morning. It's about 41 degrees. I was going to pop these tops off and just look through the clear inner cover and see what our cluster is looking like. Pop these off real quick. This water is from the water that's in here. I can keep dragging it across there, but there's our cluster. You can see that. There's still bees in all these seams. They're moving kind of slow. Yeah, there's bees even out here, so that's really good. This hive is very strong. Yeah, there's no, again, this is on the outside. And that's because I just dripped it in there. And then we'll check out. That's hive 7. Look in the bottom boards. These may be kind of dirty, but we'll see what we find. This is hive 7. Yeah, we got some water back here, so there is condensation happening. When this starts molding like that, there's moisture in here, and these will need to be filtered out. Small hive beetles in there still. Don't see any frass, but yeah, those need to be cleaned and flushed out. This is hive 6. So I don't see any bees in these seams, but it's just full of capped honey, which is good. And then we got a seam here, so they pushed all to one side. And the small hive beetles were getting corralled up here, so that's mostly propolised shut. And it looks like most of those are dead, but they probably moved into the cluster. Quite a bit of heat coming off here. This is hive 6. When the brood's low. So it's not as bad. There's no moisture in this one either. That one maybe because they're rearing so much brood. Don't see much of a difference. Again, the cluster was on that side, hive 6, and it shows. This is hive 5. They did remove all the propolis from this vent again, so for some reason they're wanting venting again. You can see there's some condensation in here though. I'm not sure it's because of that. And then they've sort of corralled the small hive beetles up here. But there's bees here, like they're in torpor. They're just barely moving. And bees over here, and this vent probably letting some cold air in, so a lot of the bees appear to be back in this section of the hive, all the way up against that wall. So it may be worth closing that off. Something you may notice is I took the insulation off. Our chickens were pecking at the insulation, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit more work to make it so that the chickens aren't pecking the insulation. All right, hive 5, got it unstuck here. And you typically don't see any sliming out or anything this time of year because it's just too cold. You can see wax moth frass and stuff, but it's also getting too cold for that. We just looked in the top and saw the bees were in there, so don't see any issues with this one. You can see the cluster's kind of in the middle. So these bottom boards help you get a peek of what's going on in the hive. This is hive 4. This is one of our stronger hives. It's very heavy too. And there's bees in all the seams. And they seem to be a little more active than the others. There's quite a bit of heat coming out of here. So this is hive 4, and hive 7 was that first one we looked at. And their temperature is much higher than the others. So I think they're still rearing brood in these colonies. But yeah, there's bees in every seam. I'm still seeing capped honey. A lot of capped honey everywhere, so it's good news. Of course, the inner covers really, I think, one of the best tools for people that are curious to be able to see what's going on with the bees. And this has a lot of moisture too. So the ones that had this black in here are the ones that are the heaviest and rearing the most brood. So they're the warmest. They probably get more condensation. And again, this will get cleaned out before I do the OA treatment, so I can verify that my mite count is low enough. Well, it's definitely low enough. I just want to see how many mites are in there when we do the next OA. It's hive 3. Their upper entrance is flipped, so cold air could be getting through this little notch, but there doesn't seem to be any condensation anywhere. Not many bees in this seam. There's some here. Most of them are concentrated over on this left side. But good bit of heat in here. So this hive, which is hive 3, and then hive 4, 5, is in the 100 and teens, under 120 pounds. So a bit concerned about them, but I'm seeing slabs of honey in here, which is about 5 pounds, 10 pounds. This one seems like it's open. Nope, this side's capped. This side's capped. So there's probably at least 20 pounds left of honey, and they'll probably just hopefully work across. We'll see how that goes through the winter. And again, hopefully I can get these re-insulated in a way that allows the chickens to be safe and not peck and eat styrofoam treatment. This is hive 3 that we're in right now. You can see a lot of their activities on this left side of the hive. Most of that's from cappings, but that'll need to be cleaned as well. No moisture in there. This is hive 1. Oh, interesting. Less bees. I don't see any bees in this seam, or that's, well, there's some in here, not a lot. A lot of capped honey. These are all capped honey though. Bees in this seam, this seam, this seam, this one, and not many in that one. I am seeing small hive beetles that are trying to hide in here. You can see those. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bees are barely moving, but no condensation on the inside. That's good. That's all. And then hive 1. It looks like they've been busy in this area and on the left on capping stuff. So just need to keep an eye on the weights of these. I think this is pretty heavy. It's just a smaller hive. Don't see any signs of anything that's a concern.